Hi everyone, welcome to another University Career Center quick tip. My name is Addye Buckley-Burnell. I'm the Associate Director of Career Development here in the University Career Center at Auburn University, and I'm here with a quick tip for you guys today. Now, everyone has faced the situation of being in an interview and hearing, "Tell me a little bit about yourself." We've also all been told about networking and how important all these things are in order to get our point across and to market ourselves effectively. And both of those elements are incredibly important in order to set that first impression, giving that full idea of who you are as a professional and making sure that that gets across in a great way. So I want to tell you how to craft this and to make it appropriate for you. All right, so first off, for a 30-second commercial, that is going to be your elevator pitch. So if you're at a networking event, if you are at a career fair, if you are just meeting someone for the first time that could help you in any way professionally, having a 30-second commercial ready to go, practiced, not recited and memorized, but at least you know what you're talking about, can be really helpful to get your point across. Now, again, 30 seconds is the max for that. That is something that you want to craft quickly, be able to say, roll off the tip of your tongue without an issue in 30 seconds or less. Tell me about yourself is really going to be the same information, except it can go a little longer. Don't typically recommend going any longer to a minute, minute and a half. However, you still want to keep their attention, but it can be a little bit of a longer introduction since they're specifically asking you about that. All right, same rules apply though. So when it comes to either of these situations, you want to start with past, present, future, relating to why you're in that room. All right. So if it is a 30-second commercial, a career fair, networking situation, starting off with your name would be appropriate. However, if you're in an interview, you're not going to start there. You're going to skip ahead to that next step. Many people might start talking about where they're from. That's perfectly fine to say. You might give a little bit of a hint to what got you interested into this profession or this industry, this organization. All right. So a little bit of that past, set the tone. What have you been doing to prepare yourself for this role? So talk about your major, what organizations you've been a part of, any internships or job settings, any co-ops you've been doing, research, volunteer work, anything that would be appealing to the person that you're speaking to. So it could be related to the organization, it could be related to the career field, but give that little snapshot. So again, a brief overview of the things that you've been doing. Later on, when they ask you more questions, you can dive much deeper. But for this, just kind of brief overview, and then where you are in the future. What are your goals? What are you seeing in this organization that makes you want to be a part of it? All right, so past, present, future, why you're in this room. We're going to leave out all the personal stuff. All right, so we're going to leave out information about our family. We're going to leave out information about our dog. All right, that stuff is not what we need to talk about. Your siblings are not part of this equation. Now, if your family was all in the medical professions and you want to say, I grew up in the medical field, by all means you can. But you don't need to say, my mom was a school teacher, my father was a firefighter. That's not the stuff that they need to hear. They want to know a little bit about who you are. Now, if you have something interesting, something that sets you apart, something that just might stick with them, by all means include it. You'll hear a lot of people tell you to include a fun fact. Now, I don't like to say that everyone should include a fun fact because let's just be honest, we all tend to stretch a little bit on that. For me, I'm not quite sure what I would say as my fun fact, and so it would just feel a little bit like a reach or not really genuine. Instead, just give them a glimpse into who you are as a person. Now, it doesn't need to be things like what you do in your hobbies unless they relate or unless you have some sort of anecdote that would connect it. So add your personality, add who you are. You want to be genuine here, but talking specifically about why you're in that room and what is going to resonate with this audience. That takes research. Know who you're talking to in order to know what will resonate with them. Maybe you volunteered with an organization that is the philanthropy for the organization that you're interviewing with. Maybe you were part of a fraternity or sorority that the person you're interviewing with was also a part of. That is great recognition there. So make sure you're hitting on that. For the entire interview process, entire time networking, you're going to be highlighting your experiences and touching on skill sets. So this is a great way to introduce it all at once, touching on it, and then dive much deeper into those actual questions when you get to that point where they're asked or where you bring them up in the discussion. So I hope that was helpful for you. We all face that question. It's a challenge for us all, but it is really an important step in the process. Now check out our website. We do have a really great tip sheet that is going to walk you through that whole process, and so you can kind of start scripting it out. And that's a great way to kind of begin thinking about it and then practice it using things like Interview Stream so that you feel comfortable having this discussion and adapting it for your specific situation. Thanks again for tuning in. Stay tuned for our next quick tip with the University Career Center.